So, like I was saying, hopefully, people here to listen and I are to give me your opinion, your thoughts, but all that reporting stuff and I ain't did nothing. That's some BS. Like I was saying, what is too far? This thing has went too far. And I don't think as fans, like, I don't think y'all really understand. If you look ahead at the road ahead, I don't see no way this thing can end. This thing can't end. This can't end. Eventually, there's gonna have to be some type of bloodshed, or there's gonna be some type of tragedy, because that you cannot come back from what's being said. This stuff being said, and as I was saying, in the early days of hip hop, when there was battles, they was easy to squash. Wasn't nothing said personal. It was mainly I'm a nicer MC than you on the mic. Oh no, I'm nicer than you. Look at your shoes. It was just basically playing the dozens. Then we evolved. Ice Cube, he got a little bit out there, but even Ice Cube, no Vaseline. He did not take it to like no one's infidelity. He did not call he didn't call out people's sexuality. He didn't talk about people's wives. He didn't talk about no one's mother. He kept it between them. So, yeah, I didn't like what you said, but we can sit down and we can work it out. Tupac, Biggie. Now, we can't work that out, blood. We cannot work out what you said. You're gonna have to take a fade, because I can't work out blank you and the clique you're from. You claim to be a player, but your wife. Nah, that's you done went too disrespectful. I cannot come. We can't sit down. We're gonna have to fade. We gotta fade, because that's very disrespectful. And as you see, every diss after Tupac diss Biggie has been very disrespectful, where it's hard for the two parties involved to sit down and talk with each other, because you crossed the line. And this battle, even though everyone's like, oh, we got some bangers, hip hop back, yeah, but y'all are looking at it from an entertainment standpoint. They are looking at it as, I really don't like you. I don't like you, and I'm trying to destroy your whole career. This is on some 50 Cent Ja Rule stuff. This is where this is at. But this is even greater than 50 Cent and Ja Rule, because there was no accusations of pedophilia, human trafficking, drug use, bodyguards sleeping with wives, your baby ain't yours. This stuff ain't no coming back from this stuff, man. There's no coming back at each other. Nas didn't really go at Jay-Z like that. Nas didn't go at Jay-Z. They could sit down and talk to each other. This stuff, there's no coming back. This is like Nas telling Jay-Z Blue Ivory is not his kid. That's Pimp C's kid. This is like Jay-Z telling Nas that I got proof. This stuff, you ain't no coming back from this. There's no coming back from this. There's no one to sit. There would have to be a strong mediator between the two. And the best you can hope for out of the mediation is that they'll just leave each other alone. But the fans, y'all egging this on, I hope y'all prepared to go through what happened in 1996 when Tupac got unalived. Because that's the only thing I see. It's the only thing I see. It's the only thing I see happening, unless someone steps in and someone gets arrested. It's the only thing I see. It ain't about Drake being tough. See, that's the problem. It ain't about Drake being tough. It ain't. See, there's other people involved in this. There's other people involved in this. You done called out Baca. You done called out his other dude, Chubbs. You done called out Dave Free. You done called out TDE. There's other people. See, like Ice-T said, the problem ain't between the rappers. It's the entourages. It's the entourages. Most of these rappers are not tough. Most of these rappers are not tough. But see, but the problem is the entourage. See, because in the entourage is real tough people. These people actually went to jail. They've been to prison. They done actually did this stuff. So it's nothing for them to go back. And that's where your problem comes out. Because rapper to rapper, we might see each other. See, that's y'all's problem. Just because it's Canada don't mean they ain't got no killers up there. That's your problem. That's what people think. You got to come. See, like someone said, as long as you ain't from Wakanda or wherever else, you can run. We can run that fade. Shh. They're going to see each other. They're going to see each other. You think that Drake is going to stop making money? You think Drake is going to stop making money? You think Drake is not coming to America to make money? You think Kendrick is not going to go to Canada? They're going to see each other. They're going to see each other. And that's what y'all don't understand. They're going to see each other. And it's the entourages you have to worry about. That's what you're worrying about. You don't know Baca could come. Like, people don't understand. Like, this whole thing is getting out of control. This whole thing is getting out of control. But it's all for y'all's entertainment. It's all for y'all's entertainment. And now we bringing in different elements. We got some. I seen a girl talking about Atlanta. Yeah, you can't come back to Atlanta. You barely living in Atlanta. What the hell are you talking about? You can't come back from Atlanta. You don't have no power in Atlanta. Ain't nobody came to you and said, hey, who can come to Atlanta and who can't come to Atlanta? You don't have no power in Atlanta. I heard people talking about, yeah, he's bringing back the West Coast. How is he bringing back the West Coast? How's he bringing it back? LA is a shithole. LA is a shithole. If anybody, yeah, he's representing for LA. Y'all need to stop killing each other in LA then. You need to stop killing. If he's representing for LA, why y'all killing each other still? Why y'all out there? LA is a shithole. Nobody wants to go to LA. Oh, he said Oakland. Don't nobody want to go to Oakland. Oakland's a hellhole. Oh, he's doing it for the culture. Y'all knew Drake was a culture vulture. And let me say this. Drake is still black. Kendrick's wife is black. Drake is black. If you know how many biracial people out here using the N-word? Y'all don't have a problem with all these biracial. Y'all just have a problem with Drake using the N-word. But there's biracial people out here every day using the N-word. Shit, Mexicans use it like it's theirs. I thought the N-word was Spanish. I thought the N-word was Spanish, so they used it so much. How do you think he got there? How do you think that the people got to Canada? Either they're Africans or they were slaves that ran up there to be free. Learn your history. See, you young people, y'all heading for destruction because y'all stupid and don't want to listen. Older people who've been through this shit with Tupac and Biggie, instead of bobbing your head, you should be the counsel of wisdom to these young people saying, hey man, this shit gone too far. Time out. Cut this out. And then you got Metro. Is that how y'all get down in Atlanta? Metro makes a beat and then says if you rap over the beat, he ain't gonna sign you. Why y'all gonna fall for that? He just wants to bring you into the battle. They just trying to get more people in the battle. Keep it between y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with us. Y'all see, this shit need to stop. It needs to stop. This is whole behavior. Like, when did men do this? This is what I don't understand. When did men do this? Two men? This is what men do now? It ain't on wax. And that's your problem, Nate the Bag. Talking about America is great. Ask yourself this, America. Ask yourself this, not the Bag. Why did they make a law outlawing anti-Semitism before they made in shorter time than they gave us a lynching bill? You talking about America? They made a damn bill in a day for them, and it took them 100 years to give us an anti-lynching bill. Nah, see, because you're stupid and you don't know what you're talking about. You need to be quiet and listen. Because at the same time, and when Tupac and Biggie got into place, that's what all of us thought. It's on wax. This is on wax. And then when that shit came off wax, now everybody wants to be said, we lost legends. But we didn't see the part that we played in Tupac and Biggie's death. We played a bigger part in Tupac and Biggie's death. Because we was the ones going and buying the newspapers, going and buying, picking sides, And then when they did, now we out here talking about we lost legends. We played a part in it. And now we're playing a part in it this time. We're playing a part in this. So when something happens to one of them, no one should shed a tear. Because where was someone to step in and say, hey man, y'all need to stop this. Y'all need to stop this. Y'all need to stop this. We got bigger issues. Y'all can get on here and air out each other's dirty laundry, but you can't get together and put $100,000 together to buy houses, to buy land. But y'all can get on wax and fucking tear each other apart, but you won't put no money together to help the black people buy land. Kendrick Lamar saying it's for the culture. We don't want to hear you say N no more. Kendrick, Nipsey Hussle was from LA. How are you helping Nipsey Hussle's legend? All the LA rappers, y'all said y'all love Nipsey. That's all I hear from LA. We love Nipsey. Nipsey's our boy. But what you doing to keep Nipsey's dream alive? I don't want to hear how much you love Nipsey Hussle. Tell me, what are you doing to keep Nipsey Hussle's dream alive? Huh? What is the gang doing? What is Snoop doing? What is all these LA rappers, YG, who every time Nipsey Hussle has a tribute, they want to run out there and they want to, oh, this is for Nipsey, this is for Nip. Okay, what are you doing to keep Nipsey Hussle's dream alive? What are you doing? If you're not keeping Nipsey Hussle's dream alive, keep the man's name out your mouth. Huh? What are you doing? Nipsey was buying buildings. Nipsey was stopping gang violence. Nipsey's legend was bigger than life is all I heard. Nipsey was about to hard. Okay, fine. What are y'all doing, LA? What are you doing, LA? Put up a mural for him. Huh? You put up a mural? What are you doing? I'm dragging the West Coast rappers. I'm dragging the West Coast. I'm dragging black people because you can't get on here hollering Black Lives Matter and then turn around and do this BS. And black people don't like it when I talk like this. They don't like it when I talk like this. Them young dudes, I stopped talking to you young dudes because y'all gonna have to learn the hard way. You're gonna have to find, it ain't hip hop culture, sir. Yeah, all boarded and gated up. You can't even go down there. Nate Dogg, you're not even black. Are you even black, Nate Dogg? If not, you know what? I'm through. You can leave, dude. Report the live. You gone. You gone. Now come up here and talk to me. You got enough followers. Come holler at your boy. Come holler at your boy. I hear what you got to say. I like to hear what you got to say. What do you got to say, brother? You in the comments giving out type of sly talk like I'm lying. What do you got to say, brother?
I was trying to figure out exactly what the actual topic of your live was.
You know
I literally just joined the live. Like, listen to what I'm saying. So you're conflating different things. If we're talking about hip hop culture, there has always been people beefing with one another. Even as black people, we can agree even in our own
No, bro. I don't mean to cut you off, but I said that, sir. I said this is a different.
I just joined the live, bro. I might not have caught all of that.
Why did you open your mouth then?
I was in the comments, bro. You told me to come on. Are we having a conversation?
Listen to me, brother. You was in the comments making sly comments, but you didn't even know what I was talking about.
That's what I was asking you.
How old are you, brother? How old are you?
I'm 40, bro.
Okay, you're a little bit too old to open your mouth before you know what's going on. You're a little bit too old for that, brother. At your age, you should listen before you start making sly comments to find out what's going on.
Bro, you're conflating 7 different things. You don't know black culture and people killing each other and what they doing for the community and everywhere else.
All of that goes together. Now,
bro, if we're literally talking about Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef, let
me ask you this, brother. Brother, hold on, brother. Wait a minute, brother. Brother, wait a minute. Next time I ask you to wait a minute, please wait a minute. Let me ask you something. If me and you was battling, now I starts telling you a pedophile. You a human trafficker. You hiding your baby. I make a whole song talking about your mama. A whole song telling your daddy he should have put on a condom. I'm just laying out. Can me and you sit down and have a conversation?
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm here for. I
You
joined the
must
live. I was trying to
you
catch on to
must be
what
from
you
the
were saying.
you must be from a different cloth because I'm not talking with no man. If once you say all that stuff about me, we gotta have to fight first. We're gonna have a
But
fade.
that's
And
exactly
then
what you
we'll sit
talking
there.
about with
Maybe
the
after we
fighting,
had a
though.
fade, we can talk to each other. But until we have a fade, we ain't talking
But
about
that's
ain't nothing to talk
exactly the
about.
problem that you just said was with the community, right? You just said people killing each other, right? So how now we got to get the violence to even have a
Because,
conversation?
brother, listen to what I'm saying. Because it went too far. You cannot. This is not battling. This is what people don't understand. When your mouth can get you in a lot of trouble, and a lot of these kids' mouths are getting them in trouble. A lot of kids are out here getting red rummed because of their mouths. A whole group of kids got red rummed, not red, got shot, red rummed in Philadelphia because they got on Facebook and they started running their mouths at each other. And one said, "Okay, that's enough of this. That's enough of this. We ain't
But
there
is that
talking."
hypocritical of us though, coming from the generation that we came from? Look at how many
And
people
that's
that's
what I
around us that got killed and crack and everything else that happened in our community. So I
and
think
that's
that's a
what I
little
just
hypocritical.
said. And that's what I just said. Why the older generation has to step in and say, "Look, y'all need to stop this. This is not a good look. Y'all done went too far because there's nothing good. There's no good that can come out of this. They done went too far. It's going to lead to violence. That's the only thing it can come to. It's going to lead to
I,
violence."
I'm not gonna say it's gonna lead to violence. I think what's happening is you have like with even with Cat Williams at the top of the year. So they were talking about 2024 being the year of truth or revealing or whatever it was. And so if we look around the country, we look around at what's going on in in society, just in general, we can see that it's a lot of things that are unraveling right in front of us. You have Israel at war right now. So it's not coincidental that Drake, being a Jewish person,
No,
has
bro.
all of these people supporting him regardless of whatever
No, brother. No, brother.
he wants.
Israel don't have nothing to do with
And
this.
yet somehow Kendrick is the bad guy.
I never said Kendrick was the bad guy. I blame both of them. It has gone too far. Now, y'all want to talk about everything about Drake. Now, Drake been on the scene since when? 2010? 2010. Or a little bit earlier. Drake was all of this then. Now everybody wants to talk about Drake as a culture vulture. When did Drake start being a culture vulture? When? When?
Oh, I don't know. I can't say that I've ever aligned with Drake's music or anything like that. So maybe because I'm older, that wasn't necessarily my like realm of hip hop. You know, I kind of came up more on the Nas, Outkast, Jay-Z, Cash Money,
Okay.
that kind of era. So
Okay. But
that
listen
was
to
a
what I'm
little bit
saying.
after me.
If Drake was a culture vulture, why didn't someone say that when Drake first started? It wasn't about Drake talking gangster. It was about why didn't someone say something when Drake first started? Hey, Drake, you're a culture vulture. When Drake was hanging out with Rick Ross and when Drake was making the if my brothers do something, then I'm gonna pay for it. Drizzy got the money, all of that shit. Drake been talking like
Well, it's
that.
knocks on them. And it's knocks on their character too. So even the guys that we've linked him with, Rick Ross being a CEO, all these other people not necessarily being who they're supposed to be. Remember when 21 Savage got outed for being from Britain? He not even from here neither.
Brother,
And so it's like again,
go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
I know all I was saying was the same people that we can say are culture vultures, there are people that all kinfolk ain't skinfolk. So it's like even people that look like us, that doesn't necessarily make them any less a issue in the culture in the same way you're saying that with the Nipsey Hussle thing and all of that, to where you have people that's planted in the culture. They call them plants. These
But,
people come out of nowhere and somehow they the toughest and the biggest and it's
but
like all they promoting is violence and
that's
drugs
the
and
whole rap
sex.
game. That's the whole rap game. That's
That's
all
not
rap.
the whole rap game.
Name,
That's
name,
not the
name,
whole
name one big rapper that doesn't take a
common,
balance. Who?
common, common,
Common's the biggest sellout of all the rappers. He's the
common.
biggest sellout. Common's the biggest sellout.
You think common is a sellout?
Name something Common has did for the black community.
I mean, I could say that about any of the
Name
rappers.
something Common has did for the black community.
Name any of them that have
Name
done
something. No, no,
something.
no. You said Common. You named Common. So name
I'm not
something
familiar.
Common
I'm
has
not
did for the
familiar.
black
I'm
community.
not familiar. Shit, what do
Because he
Outkast do for the
because he
community?
hasn't
What do
did
any
nothing.
What do any of them do though? What do Outkast do for the community? What do anybody you can name that's a big time rapper do for the
T.I.,
community?
you got
Who?
T.I., you
Yeah,
got Big Mike,
Ti has been active. Ti has been
you
active.
got Big Mike, you
Yeah,
got
he's in politics now. Killer
you
Mike
got
is in
Snoop
politics
Dogg,
now.
you got
Who?
Master P, Snoop
Oh,
Dogg, Master
yep.
P.
Okay.
You got a lot of them that do
That's
stuff.
you just
Jay-Z
only
does stuff
named
for the community.
5 rappers, bro, in
You
the
can name a
history of.
lot of them.
I
You
just
can
want you to
name a
keep
lot
going,
of them.
cause all the hot rappers right now aren't doing shit for nobody.
Because they're not. Who's hot? Name who's hot.
What Rick Ross do for the community?
Rick Ross ain't hot right now.
Rick Ross just he beefing with Biggie right
When
now.
the last time you said Rick Ross's name before this beef?
Well, he got his car show he just did. They had a
Okay,
police
when the
party. That
last
was
time you
yesterday.
said Rick Ross's name in hip hop before this beef?
Bro, Rick Ross is
Rick
big,
Ross is
bro.
not hot.
What
Nobody's
do 50
listening to
Cent
Rick
do for the
Ross.
community? So what do 50 Cent do for the community?
Exactly. What do 50 Cent do
And
for the
but
community?
that's my point. You
And
you
it's
could
50
go down the
Cent,
list.
50 Cent hot in rap. But listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Is it their fault or is it our fault? Because look at what 50 Cent did. When we came back from the movies talking about, oh, Black Panther, it's good to see black people in a different light than being drug dealers and pimps and pushers and all this crap. And we was so much pride, we was dressing up in African gear to go see a movie. 50 Cent invited you back to Power, a movie about a drug dealer. 50 Cent ain't never cared for black people. 50 Cent ain't never cared for black people.
I mean, I could say that about a bunch of people though, bro. I just wanted to have a dialogue based on what I assumed you were saying. Now I kind of understand where you were going with the conversation, but your background misleading because like I said, I thought this was about the Drake and Kendrick beef,
It is
and now we
about the
talk.
Drake and Kendrick
But
beef.
I think we shifting the conversation to a whole community kind of
All comes
discussion.
together because this is our fault. What are we gonna do? Where do you see this going? You think this is gonna stay on wax?
I think this just music, bro. Honestly,
It
I think
ain't.
it's so
Okay,
many other. I think it's so many other things, like you said, that's going on in society right now that this is a distraction. One, and
maybe.
then I mean it is because it seemed like all we talking about is this, and it's like you said, even in this conversation, we're touching on other issues with the hip hop culture and the community as a whole. And so if we have to do better and hold everybody accountable, then it don't just start with just this beef.
Well, it doesn't just start with this beef, but we're here. We're here now. And as elders of the community who lived through this before, because when we was younger and Tupac and Biggie was just beef, was just battling, we were all kept saying, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen. They just gonna stay on wax. This is gonna stay on
But
wax.
I ain't gonna lie, they don't have the money or the influence that Tupac did. But I don't think Biggie had the
Biggie
cultural
had a whole
influence.
coast with him.
No,
Biggie
no,
had a whole
no, no.
coast
I
with him.
think they picked him because of that. If you look at why Tupac got killed versus why Biggie got killed, it was two completely different reasons.
Yeah, because we built Tupac up. See y'all say Drake is a culture vulture. Tupac was a culture vulture.
I ain't gonna
Tupac
say
was
that.
not a gangster. He was
Yes, I
not a
can agree with
gangster.
that. He was an actor as well. He was
He
an
was
actor
not
as
a
well.
gangster. But
But he
because
comes from.
listen to what I'm saying. But we as a people, we accepted his gangster image. So he kept prolonging his gangster image until it got him killed. And someone should have said, no, Tupac, you're not a gangster. We're not gonna buy this gangsterism. We're not buying that. Be who you are. We did that. We did that. We allowed. See, this is what I'm saying. When the Jews protect their image, they protect their image. We don't protect our image. Because when C. Dolores Tucker and all of these people was trying to tell us where rap was going, we was like, forget you, you don't know, you too old. And now look at where rap is. Rap is the most dangerous occupation in America is being a rapper. Like over last year, 2,000 rappers was killed. How many musicians was killed that do rock and roll that do pops?
I think it's definitely power in the tongue. And so again, like I said, the reason Tupac and Biggie were killed were two very different reasons. Tupac was definitely more than just a gangster rapper. A lot of his songs had to do with real life experiences, whereas kind of Biggie more so glorified just that part of it. He
Man,
only had one.
okay, let's look at Tupac. But Tupac was saying something he wasn't living. Okay,
Well, in
Tupac
certain
was
songs,
saying stuff he wasn't living.
but what about
Tupac
the
was
Brenda's
trying to
Got a
live.
Baby? What about the I Ain't Mad at You? What about
Brother,
the
brother, okay, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. If Tupac would have died right after Brenda got a baby, we wouldn't even be talking about Tupac. If Tupac would have died after Strictly for My Ends, we wouldn't be talking about Tupac. What made Tupac famous was Juice, and he shot them undercover cops. That's what made Tupac famous. If he would have died after his first two albums, we wouldn't even be talking about Tupac right now. The only reason we think he's the GOAT is because he did make some good music. He did make music. He was very inspirational, but he was not living what he said he was trying to be inspirational about. He was calling himself the Mob. The Mob is a gang in LA.
Yeah,
In
he was
fact,
he was affiliated with Suge Knight at that point, and yes, I think some of that did start going to his head with his image, especially after he got out of jail that first time. But what I'm saying is we can understand where Tupac came from because he has a black experience in America. His
what is his
mom
black
was
experience? Tell me what
bro,
his black
his mom
experience is.
his mom was a Black Panther. He literally moved from one place to another place. He lived on both coasts. He was born in New York. So it's like again, we can't just say that black is this monolithic thing. So it's like I think people appreciated Pop for the genuineness, not so much just in the gangster songs, not the gangster songs, but if you look at the totality of the music, he's come out with more albums since he's been dead than when he was alive. Same thing with Biggie. But and so these guys were
Wait.
so young. They were just so young, bro. I think if we would have seen them mature, if we could have maybe looked at them through a different lens, but they didn't get to grow into that the way we've seen artists grow into, and the amount of money that they have access to is so different than the early 90s.
No. Okay, but you gotta look at this. Tupac was very impressionable. He was torn between being this Black Panther leader and being a gangster. And in the end, he ultimately chose to be a gangster. He was false flagging in LA. If you're not, and everybody knows it, if you're not from LA, stay away from LA. LA's politics is not for like, if you're an outsider, that's why they tell you, just because you're a Crip and Blood over here, don't mean that you can come to LA and be the Crip and Blood, because that it's totally different politics in LA. And if you're not from there, you need to stay away from there. Just because you from the Bay, don't mean you can go to LA and get into LA's politics, because you don't know their politics. And they was using Tupac. And that's what no one told them. They was using Tupac. The gangs was using Tupac. Suge Knight was using Tupac. And Tupac didn't see that, like, hey, Tupac was like looking for acceptance, because the night that he got into that fight, the night he didn't understand the politics. Like if Suge Knight and the other people would have stumped out Orlando Anderson could have went back to the hood and nothing would have happened. But because he looked up and he seen Tupac stomping him out, and Orlando Anderson is a real live killer, he said, I can't go back to the hood and everyone saying Tupac stomped me out. I can't show my face in Compton in LA no more. So he had to do him. Everyone's mad, but he had no choice. He had to do him. If he wouldn't have did him, he couldn't have shown his face in LA no more. You can't get stumped out by no singing dude, and you can't get stumped out by like that by no non-gangbanger in LA, and your reputation is gone. He had no choice. But Tupac didn't understand that. Tupac thought, oh, it's just a fight. It wasn't no fight. You're gonna die. And every gangster in LA said this. If he would have did that to me, I would have got him. If I wouldn't have got him right there, I was gonna eventually get him. But you can't do that. Tupac didn't know he didn't know the game he was playing. They checked him one time because he was announcing, he said Rosewood. And the gang members came up on him and said, hey, blood, what you talking about that Rosewood stuff for?
Yeah, Orlando was a crook. I'm gonna let Pest talk.
How you guys doing today? Thank you for letting me on the show. I appreciate that. So, what we got going today? Oh shit! I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. So, I kind of missed what the topic was, if there was one. I'm from the Bay Area. All my favorite rappers are Bay Area rappers, Northern California rappers. But what we got going on today, guys? What are we talking about? What was the main topic? I just turned in. Oh, Drake. Oh, I never
No,
liked
no,
Drake's
that
music.
wasn't Pez. I'm gonna go ahead and cause you see bro face, man. Look, I kind of came on, I kind of was the same way, but listen, we're talking about culturally
Yeah.
how beefs influence a culture. And as a culture of people, should we ask for better and hold people accountable based on the way that they influence people outside of themselves? Because they're rappers. They have millions of dollars. It's people
Yeah.
on the ground every day that they influence that ultimately could lose their life behind what he's saying. And OG will basically speak on people killing each other over stuff that starts on wax.
Yeah, that's like deep into the game politics. As far as that goes, shit. Accountable. I mean, we rappers want to say if they want. Are you really doing it? That's what I'm saying. Because if you listen to the raps, are they really out there doing what they're saying? You know what I mean? And they're rapping about it, and it's like, shit, freedom of speech, man. I don't know about account. I'm kind of like lost. I rap every day on TikTok. I'm on a whole nother level when it comes to that shit. I really don't know what to say on that,
Well,
man. I'm just here to.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Flo. What color are you?
I'm white.
You white. You use the N word.
Excuse me.
You use the N word.
No.
You never use the N word.
No, no. Do I use it in my vocabulary? No, I have thousands of rap songs out there. I don't use it in my vocabulary. No, people, my buddies call to me. We joke around, but I don't use it. No,
So you say the N word though.
no,
Okay. Okay.
I
Now,
don't. I have a live show too. If that's if they say it in a derogatory term, if it's someone using it in a bad way, I cut them off right there.
okay. So is there a non-derogatory way to use the N word?
Oh, in my hood, where I grew up, they use it all the time. People use it all the time. White, black, Mexican,
Okay. Okay.
Chinese.
Okay. 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 So, what's a derogatory term for white people?
For white people, shit. If I don't take no
I'm looking
derogatory
for the C
terms,
word. I'm looking for the C word. What's the C word?
oh,
Say it.
the derogatory term for a white person,
Yeah.
like honky or some shit.
No, no. That's a H. I'm looking for the C word.
Hey, hold
Cracker.
on now. You know the
Yeah.
TikTok now.
Okay.
I
Don't
like this show. I like this
wait.
show. Thank you, sir. You don't want to hear what he said?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now imagine if I took the ER off of that word and put an A, and I started using it as a way. Do you feel that that would be something that you would take acceptance to?
Me personally, no. Because like in my way it is with me, like if I've had people call me white trash before, right? And guess what I said? Guess what I say was I grew up. They call me white trash. Some people in my family even think that's a good thing because it's all you look at. It's how you look at the term. Everybody's different. So me, I want to take it personally. I've had people call me white trash. I say thank you, even though I don't really take that as a offense because I got my brain's too strong for that. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
I feel you where you're coming from. I feel where you're coming from, though.
Okay. So you have a whole industry
Yeah.
ran by Jews. Ran by
Okay.
Jews.
Okay. I didn't know that.
On Tupac's album, All Eyes on Me, go to I Got My Mind Made Up. Listen to Method Man's port. Method
Yeah.
Man says, I'm sticking Jews like Hitler with a German Rugler.
Okay.
Now, this is how you're going to hear it on Tupac's album. I'm sticking beep like beep with a beep, beep. Now, you go down two lines later, he's
Yeah.
able to say, I am hunting down the N words. So now, see, this is the thing. You got a people over here that is telling people that if you use our name in any way, any form, we will come after you.
Yeah.
But they're saying you can use that word. So it's up to black people to protect their image. But we
Okay.
have not, and now the word is out of control. Now everybody is saying the damn word. Like you just said, you got Mexicans using it. You got
White people, Mexican, black, Asian, everybody.
okay, and here's the problem with it. When I used to work at Alameda County Juvenile Hall,
Yeah.
when I'm cool with you, it's you my NA.
Yeah.
But when I'm mad at you, you E-R.
They flipped the script.
Right. So, but when you call them on it, oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. So it's best we don't use the word at all. It's best that you don't use the
Yeah.
word at all.
I
Because
can totally agree with you. I can see your point of view 100%. I can see both sides 100%. For me personally, man, I respect that. I respect your point of view, and for me, I guess I don't use it because it's just not in my vocabulary. I really got no reason to. I just not in my vocabulary.
well, I can understand that, but we have to understand there's a whole different people controlling this industry. This is $1 billion industry, and
Yeah.
the people who created it, we barely get money out of it. The only way we can get money out of it is we gotta talk about killing each other. We gotta
Okay.
talk some negative stuff to each other, like this whole beef. Let me ask you this: you've been following the beef, right?
Well, I went on another talk show and I said I didn't know nothing about because I don't follow that stuff and I'm not a Drake fan. I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan. It's not because I don't like their music. It's just I don't know their music. I'm too caught up in that Bay Area rap. And I heard one song about Drake. It said I think it was called God's Plan. I'm not religious. I'm not bringing that into the forefront. But I heard that song. I was like, hey, that sounds like God's Plan. I said that was kind of catchy. But I'm from the Bay, man. I've been
Okay,
rapping since '93.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this because
Yeah.
I'm from the Bay too. Let me ask you this. Now, me and you having a beef.
Yeah.
Okay? We're battling.
Okay.
Now I start saying, hey, you know your baby mama was sleeping with your bodyguard and the kid ain't yours.
Yeah.
Now I say, hey, you're a human trafficker. You're a
Yeah.
peddler. You're hiding
Yeah.
your baby. Then I make a whole song talking to your son, telling him
Yeah.
how bad of a father you are.
Okay.
Now, and then the other side does it too. Now keep it real. You from the Bay. So keep
Yes.
it 100% real because I know how the Bay is.
Yeah.
Now, are we going to keep this on record? Or if we won, where you say you was from at the Bay?
All from the East Bay.
What port?
In between San Jose and Oakland.
Hayward. Okay. So me and you, we out and we see each other at Hayward. We see each other at the mall. We see each other at the mall. Are we going to walk past each other? Or it's like, hey man, what's up with all this? What's all that you was popping? You know, what's up? What you
Yeah.
want to do? Or is
Yeah.
that what we about to do?
Well, what I was thinking right there, first thing came to my mind when it comes to kids, that's the worst of the worst in my book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
So
that's what we're talking about.
so the accusation made, I would say the accusation made. Before you even go there, you would have to, make sure what you're saying is actually real because that's not something to play around with. First of all, and
Well, okay, let's say if it's real or fake. You don't care if it's real or fake. Once
it
you
was said what was said, huh?
yeah, it's basically I said what I said. So once you see me, what you gonna do?
Well, shit, me, I ain't doing shit because I'm not a gangster, you know what I mean? But if I was, I don't know how that politics works, you know what I'm saying? Life's a motherfucker. I'm trying to protect my ass right now and keep it cool, you know what I mean? But I don't want I'm just trying to, if you check out you know what I rap? Can I say something real quick, man? Because I'm starting to like this show. Can I say something real quick?
What's that?
I rap about staying off drugs. I'm clean off drugs for 13 years. I rap about my old hood life, drinking 40s, rolling dice, staying off drugs. I rap about a lot about mental illness. I rap about slang words. I rap about shit. I got my own dance. I rap about doing better. I rap about right the heck now. And then you know what I really rap about the most out of everything?
What's
How
that?
cool I rap. Oh, I got all these words. I'm rapping cool.
Okay,
So
okay,
I'm
go.
I'm on a different level.
Chill with the promo. Now let's go back to your hood days.
Yes, sir.
Go back to your hood days. Now
Yes.
I done said all of this on record about you. We bump into each other. You in your hood days. You're not in the days you are now because it seems like you elevated yourself. You got
Yeah.
yourself. You've been trying to turn your life around. Now
Yeah.
now go back to your hood days, and I don't want you to go back to your hood days and get off here and go back to your hood days. I just want
Yeah.
you to think just for right now. Just get in your hood day mind. Now I done talked all this trash on the record about you, and now you see me. Now in your hood days, what's gonna happen?
Well, shit. In my hood days, I've never been in a gang, so I've never been hardcore. I was just, I'm not saying I didn't know people that drink beer and smoke weed and get down, but I'm just saying like this. I don't want to get into the politics part, But I'll say this. Shit, man, that's a dish right there. You tell somebody that all this stuff. It's like you better be ready to back it up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So in Dallas, they was having a battle.
Yeah,
They was going back and forth over Facebook rap battling. One of them
yeah,
said, "Enough with this. Enough with this." Got his tool, went to the apartment, and he sprayed it up.
yeah.
He hit who he was after. He hit a 9-year-old girl. You can
That's
look.
called.
He hit a 9-year-old girl.
Yeah,
So this is what I'm saying. When these battles, when they go too far, and if we look at this battle that went too far. The only thing I can see is something tragic's about to happen if
yeah,
someone has to step in and mediate this, because this is not like we can sit down and talk with each other, because ain't no way in the world from either side you're gonna say that about me, and I'm gonna come in the room or see you in public and I'm just gonna talk to you. You
yeah,
done said too much. Now you done went too far. You're trying to. Not only are you trying to destroy my career, but you're
yeah.
trying to destroy my life.
Yeah, yeah. You see what that guy said? He said, "Too short never raps about violence, never condones violence." Right?
He raps
Too
about
short.
pimping.
Too short's the man right there, man. I bet much props to that dude.
Too short raps about pimping. And people, this is the thing. If you from the Bay, so you remember the Tupac Biggie beef.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old you are. I don't want to assume.
42.
Huh?
42.
Okay, so you kind of familiar with the Tupac Biggie beef.
Oh, real familiar.
So when Tupac and Biggie was fighting, we all thought it was just on record. We didn't, but that was real beef. They really hated each other.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so now it didn't stop until Tupac lost his life. And then everyone was sitting here
Yeah.
said,
And Biggie. And Biggie.
yeah, but it kind of died down when Tupac lost his life and Biggie felt he could come back to the West Coast,
Yeah.
which that was on some other shit.
Okay.
So
Hey, I'm
if
glad
we
y'all
don't
brought up
learn
Too
from
Short though.
that, if we don't learn
Yeah.
from that and say, hey, someone got to step in and stop this because this is going to go too far. Even I don't care what either people. No one thinks of Kendrick. What no one thinks of Drake. These are two black men who two successful black men who don't deserve to have this end up
Yeah.
in tragedy. So someone has to step in and say, look, man, this has gone too far. And then you also got to look at this. This is not hip hop. If y'all both remember, y'all both old enough to remember hip hop. Hip hop was battling was I'm better than you on the mic. You better than me on the mic. Or you think you better than me on the mic. And we going back and forth, but we're not talking about what you doing off the mic.
I
We
heard
just
that.
we
But
just
battle rap still exists, and that's kind of what they do with battle rap even to this day. So even in the early 2000s, you remember even 106 and Park had the Freestyle Fridays. They was taking personal jabs on there too, and
that's
so
like picking the dozens. Nobody even remembers them dudes. That's
oh
like
no, they definitely live on it. Everything on the internet. But when y'all brought up Too Short, I know y'all are from the Bay. I'm from Florida. And so we don't necessarily have gangs in the same way, but there's still that element of
okay.
violence.
Wait a minute. Let's go to Florida because y'all in Jacksonville. There is a big rap beef going on between Fulio and Young MC, Young whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's kind of been going on.
Right. Now these dudes, now look how disrespectful it is. They so disrespectful that I gotta do something to you. You talking about how you shot my brother at the birthday party. I'm talking about you at one particular point on TikTok, they were singing a song that about a kid getting kidnapped. Remember he said they found Corbin and he was rotten. People was making TikToks to this, dancing to this, but this was a real kid. This was someone's son, and they out here dancing. And see, it's the battling has got so damn disrespectful now.
And it's not smooth either. It's just mostly talking.
Right, it's so disrespectful. A 7-year-old in Chicago lost her life because her father felt the need to go piss on his op's grave and film a rap video.
Yeah.
So there was no we can make a rap battle. There's no I can
Yeah,
make
they
a
kind of got
song with
that.
this
They kind
shit.
of got that from Chicago. Chicago was doing that because you
The
know,
drill music.
even as people from the culture, we don't disrespect the dead. That's not even something we grew up doing. You don't play with nobody, grandma, and you know that's whatever. So, but
You're messing up. You're messing up.
short. And so if we're talking about people that's doing pimping, but in the same sense, people don't glorify pimping like that either because that goes into that human trafficking. It's all tied together. They locking people up for that now. Especially if you take a girl across state lines, you got a federal charge. And so it's like again, it's a taste, different strokes for different folks. So I don't necessarily condemn or degrade, but if we talking about the culture in and of itself, I think we do have to hold everyone accountable.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You got to because like this thing got too wild. This should be like everyone should be like this thing got too wild. You got 7-year-olds losing their lives because their daddies want to film videos pissing on people's graves. You got people talking about people they done murdered. It's them went too far. So someone's gonna have to step in and mediate between the two.
But they got it from a place though. The people in our generation was the real deal gangbangers, was the real deal. This motherfucker still locked up right now for shit they was doing in the late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah. You know what my favorite type of rapper is, man? When we're talking about battles, someone that could bust a flow without mentioning the other person. That's how we do it in my hood. When I was in the hood, I moved to the valley. We keep going, flow. We're flowing, I'm flowing, you're flowing. At the end, you know who won. You don't have to even say it. It's not even, it's not even about winning or losers. You do your thing, I do my thing, we're flowing. There you go, it's over. But then, if you're flowing and they want to talk about you, I'll go as far as talking about their style. I'm not like you were talking about earlier. You don't have to get personal. It's about lyric, the lyric type stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's how it was back in the
That's old
day.
school.
You could sit down and we could talk. We could still be friends because all you saying is you sound like a sucker MC. You done bit your rhyme, but you're saying it in a more modern way today. And we could sit down and talk with each other. But once you go personal, you talking about my kids, you trying to destroy my life. I can't sit down and talk with you.
I agree that. I got a situation that happened to me on TikTok. It's kind of funny if you want to hear it. I'm going to take off in like 1 minute. Can I say this last thing, man?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so dude comes on and he's flowing on this thing, and then I'm flowing, right? And then after he was like, "Oh, I gotta go," he was laughing at me. So he what do you call? I guess it's called the follow me. So he followed me. So I went back to his site, and I said, and he was on there, and he had people on there. I said, "Hey, can I go on there and flow?" I didn't want to battle. I thought he followed me, so we're cool. You know what he told me? He said, "You ain't gave me $1. You ain't gave me $1. You want to come on shit flow?" So I said, "Whoa, you kind of misunderstood me, man. I'm old school. I was just saying what's up. I wanted to flow." So then I went back, told the people that were on the first side, I said, "Set it up. If you want some battle, let's go." And I never heard from him, so that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't like the battle. I would never got personal. I would just spit my own rhymes, see what happened. But I'm not trying to promote nothing. I enjoyed this conversation, man. I'm gonna follow you right now. Matter of fact, I'm Pesto, and I really appreciate you having me on the show. You were making some good points, both of you, and much props to everybody out there on your live, man. You guys have a great day. Thank you for having me.
No, you too.
Appreciate it.
What says you, Michael J?
What's up, Bubba?
What's
How
up?
you doing on Sunday?
I'm all right. How about you?
Nothing. I mean, what? I just kind of want to ask, what are we getting accomplished here? What are we trying to get accomplished?
Accomplished how?
No, I'm asking you. You know, you've been on TikTok for a minute. What are you trying to get accomplished?
What do you think I'm trying to get accomplished?
I'm asking you. This
But
is a question for
I
you.
need to know if you know
It's
what
not
I'm
an
even
interview.
talking
I'm just
about.
asking you.
I need to know if you even know
What
what
are
I'm
you trying to
talking
get
about.
accomplished?
What are we talking about?
Because it seems like you're like literally like most of your content actually is like hate and rhetoric and stuff like that. I'm just asking you, what are you trying to get accomplished?
So how do you feel my content is mostly hate and rhetoric?
Dude, when I thumped it, and I follow you, don't get me wrong, because I like you. I do like, but what are you trying to accomplish?
Well,
So
first of
tell
all,
me,
tell me how
you didn't
my
ask me what you're trying to accomplish. I want to know what you're trying to accomplish.
okay,
Are
and
you
I
trying to
want to
make
know.
Joe Biden or Donald Trump or somebody a martyr? I mean, what's going on, Bubba?
First of all, don't call me Bubba. Second of all, what am I saying that's hate and hate and rhetoric?
And so you got offended because I called you Bubba, right?
Yeah.
So you're stuck in that plantation ass shit, right? Because
Oh,
I
okay.
just called you Bubba. That's the first
So
nut
if
that
I
you could
so
take.
you
And
I'm
you're so
stuck in a
offended when
plantation
somebody even
mindset
calls
because I
you
don't
a
want to be
friend.
called
I
Bubba.
called you a friend, and you just fucking lost
But
your
I
shit.
just said don't call me Bubba. That's
I
all I
call my
said.
son Bubba.
What?
I call my son Bubba.
Okay, call your son Bubba. Don't call me Bubba.
But don't call me Bubba. Don't call me nothing. Don't you get so offended. That's the
I
fucking
have a
problem.
right to.
Y'all
I
get
have
so
a
offended
right
with
to.
everything.
I'm a grown man. I don't know you. I don't want to be called Bubba. I'm a grown man.
Okay, what would you like me to call you?
I have a
Chris?
name. Do you
Taylor?
follow me? You know my name.
It ain't on here.
It says
It
Return of the
says Return
God.
of the God. It says
Yes.
Return of the God. You want me to
Well,
call
that's
you God?
fine.
Fuck you. I ain't calling you God.
Okay, then why you
You ain't
on
my
here
God.
then?
I go to church every Sunday. You ain't
Wait,
my
what's
God.
going on, bro?
I don't
I
know.
really
I
don't
don't know either. I don't know what
No,
went
I'm
on.
trying to expose this phony ass motherfucker for who the fuck
Okay,
he is.
okay, okay.
You're
Wait,
phony, dude.
what's
You
phony
spread
about, bro?
hate and rhetoric everywhere you go.
Okay,
You
I
are the
do.
most
But why do you follow me? Why
you
do
are
you
the most
follow me?
anti-segregationist person that I've ever seen in my life. Every
Okay.
time you thumb through, you end up on my For You page. You are the
Well, block me.
nastiest person I've ever
Block
seen,
me.
dude.
Block me.
I try to bring people
Block me,
together.
sir.
That's why
Block
I
me,
started
sir.
following you. I try to bring people together. You are stuck on TikTok. I don't know who you're getting paid by, but you are stuck on TikTok trying to make people hate each other. And that's
I
what you
missed
do with
everything he
every post
said.
that you make, dude.
I
Every
thought we
post.
were having a decent
We
conversation, bro.
was
You just
until
came
we
No,
on.
we
I didn't
weren't.
know what was
We
going
weren't.
on.
No,
I,
no, no.
I
I
was
had to
we
just
drop
was
down and
having a
fucking drop
decent
some goddamn
conversation till he
Tupac on
came
this shit.
saying that people. I mean, he
Do
came
you
with
want me
his
to call
rhetoric.
you? Wait. Do you want me to call you God? I can't call you Bubba. You want me to call you God? Return of the
Call me
God?
God. Call me
bro,
God.
That's
that's just
fucking
his
garbage,
screen
dude.
name, bro.
Don't you
Everybody
ever
got
use the
screen
Lord's
names
name
Now,
on
let
here.
me
in
ask you this,
any
Michael.
word.
Michael, you a Christian. Didn't David say this? David said, "Ye are all God's children
Don't
of
you
the
dare
Most
quote the
High
fucking
God."
Bible because I've been watching you for a year now,
Well,
dude, and
what,
you
did
are
David say
garbage.
that? Did David say
No,
that?
no, no. This ain't hate. This ain't
Did
bullying.
David
You can
say that,
report me if
sir?
you want to. This ain't
Did
hate. This
David,
ain't
sir,
bullying.
sir, answer the
Return of
question.
the God.
Okay.
So where did God leave? God
Sir.
never
So
left us,
you
dude.
got a
You're not
personal
the
issue
return.
with, bro.
You're
You
not.
got a
You're
personal issue
garbage.
with, bro.
You're
He do.
shit.
He got a
Bye.
personal issue, but he won't answer the
But you
question
don't
though.
even know. But he don't even. Thank you. Thank you. I was just finna say, bro. This the internet, bro. I don't even know how you can have a personal issue with somebody you never even met before in real life, bro. We got a difference of opinion. You could still have a conversation or just move on to the next live stream. You know,
That's
it's
what I
like,
said. That's what I said.
trigger. Like you trick. Normally, bro, when you trigger somebody, it's because you struck a nerve, and
That's
it's
what
like
I
if you.
said.
I
He
don't think this
said, "Well, listen to what he
conversation.
said." He said, I come before his For You page. He can block me. I can just keep scrolling. You don't
But
got
at
to
the same,
interact.
I don't even think that conversation was for him. We were talking about our culture. So it's
That's
like
what I'm
again, I
saying.
don't even know how you jumped in to even have no opinion about shit we wasn't even talking about. Go to the Taylor Swift page if you want to do some shit like that. I don't you understand. Even people chiming in on the beef right now. It's like, bro, y'all not even from the culture. And we not even talking about black culture. We talking about just hip hop culture. Are you familiar with what's actually going on, to even have a stance? Whereas it's like, bro, if this don't concern you, then you got to kind of keep scrolling. The internet done gave everybody an opinion or feel like their opinion is valid. And it's like, well, bro, we didn't really ask you.
Well, that's what people are saying that and it was a white person who pointed it out. He said it's kind of funny how you got people outside the culture trying to break down the bars and tell it to black people. It's like, wow.
Well, I seen somebody talking about a lot of people is picking Drake's side in a sense because they feel like a lot of the stuff Kendrick was saying ain't even just about Drake. He literally talking about anybody that's not of the culture having a say so. To even the white boy shit that Rick Ross saying, it's like, bro, he's not talking about skin color, bro. He's literally talking about what did you grow up in and with. And so as people of color in America, culturally, tradition wise, certain things we do, playing the dozen, certain stuff you named before, it's like, bro, that's part of culture, bro. You don't have to We ain't gonna shoot each other, you know. And it's almost like even in the culture itself, if we from the same area, me and you might could talk different to each other versus somebody that's not from the culture. If they jump in and say anything, it's like, man, both of us finna turn on you in a sense.
That's what I said. That's what it is. Like he's saying
It's
I'm a
like,
segregationist. Like, I mean, he's on some kumbaya. He thinks he's on some kumbaya type of stuff, and we're all just gonna come together and sing kumbaya. I mean, some
man,
things you can do that on, but
that's
some things got to be.
that's
You got to understand it's a different experience from us than from you. So you got to understand our experience.
But even as a Christian, he should know it's not kumbaya. I don't know where Christians got the idea it's kumbaya. Bro, in Revelations, when Jesus come back, bro, he coming back with a sword. He ain't coming back the kumbaya.
Well, but here's the other problem. How can you kumbaya if you have never made right what you made wrong? That's like just saying sorry to somebody and just being like, forget what I did to you. I apologize. It's all good.
You seen Cat Williams' new stand up that dropped what was that on Netflix Friday, I think? I
No,
think
I
he
didn't see
closed out
it.
the show talking about just that. Yeah,
Right.
show
Yeah. But that's true facts. You can't
like why people yeah, why don't they have no sympathy for what they did to a group of people in this country? It's like y'all got sympathy for everybody else and pay reparations and do all kind of stuff for all these other people, stuff that didn't even happen in America. And then yet you know what you did to these people, and then we can't never necessarily get no kind of you should want us to be able to move on. Why wouldn't you want us to get something and then just be able to move on if you're really an ally like that?
right. It's like they say get over slavery, but right now in Alabama, they're making the city workers, the state workers, choose between Jefferson Davidson, who was the Confederate leader, the president of the Confederacy, a traitor, a slaveholder, who basically had derogatory words to say about black people, and Juneteenth. You want us to get over slavery, but there's constant reminders in this country about slavery.
Yeah, all the people on the money here was slave owners.
Right. We go to schools with slave owners' names on it, but
Yep,
yet we're
the
supposed
county
to
you
just
live
get
in.
yeah. We're supposed to just move on. We're supposed to move on when there's constant reminders. Like even if I wanted to move on, and as a little kid, hey mama, who is Jefferson Davis? Oh, what am I supposed to say as a parent if my kid asks me who Jefferson Davis is? How can I move on without telling the truth about it? What am I supposed to say? He was a great leader.
Hey, like I said, I'm in Florida, bro. Ron DeSantis did everything he could to not have black history taught in schools here.
Right, but some of that was some of that the alphabet community was trying to add their stuff onto the back of it.
No, not even. They was incorporating certain stuff, trying to say that certain black people in history was gay, even and certain. And it was just like, bro, that doesn't matter. If we're talking about what they accomplished or what they, where y'all adding all this sexuality. I don't care who you sleeping with in the privacy of your bedroom, bro. We just talking about what people doing for the culture and the community.
Right.
I wouldn't care if you were gay or not. If you out here saving lives and you helping people that look like us, I would care less. If you got
Yeah.
true intentions and that's what you really out here doing, that I could care less who you choose to go home and lay down with.
But how do you think this is going to end?
I think it's gonna end the same way that the Pusha T beef ended. It's just gonna kind of dissipate. I think Drake is not gonna respond because he sees the going back and forth he's not gonna win going back and forth. It's almost like if you spend too much time refute, it's just like being a regular civilian. Somebody could say you gay, and it's like, bro, I'm not finna spend a whole bunch of time refuting that I'm gay if I know I'm not gay and everybody around me know I ain't gay. Like the way it's like, bro, I'm just be like, no, bro, I ain't gay. And then that's it. That's gonna be the end of it. I'm not finna keep making a bunch of responses about certain stuff. And I think Drake kind of got baited into the whole race thing, and I think he kind of should go away from that because if securing who you are as a person and as much money and confidence and success as these people have, you would think they would be secure in who they are, to where I don't need validation from whatever to be myself.
Well, I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good, bro. You good. I don't think it's gonna turn violent though. Just because, first of all, I just think they're not in the streets in the way that Tupac and Biggie was in the streets. Also, this the internet, so I think some of what we're seeing is just internet opinions. To where these people that have opinions aren't in the street either, or aren't gonna do a damn thing either. And most of these guys have so much security, you'll never get close enough to them to really do a thing.
What do you think about you? Because you said one thing you said, and I agree with you. Drake is taking the bait and to comment about certain stuff, like that one line where he said, where people are saying, where he said, "You always rapping like you want to free the slaves." I think he should have stayed away from that because
Yeah,
now
definitely.
that's playing
Definitely.
into like everyone's like, "Oh, you're insensitive to the slaves," and then he had the George Zimmerman line where he said, "I'm gonna activate George Zimmerman mode."
And see, I think that actually came back to bite him because I think that was an AI diss. I don't even know if that was really him that said it, but because he's used AI to generate dishes before and stuff, it kind of works against you in the sense to where you can't just keep putting out the AI shit and then it's coming up with these bars that ain't necessarily you, but your voice and name is attached to it. So now people crucifying you for the very thing that Kendrick said about the culture.
Right.
And like I said, that go into the black and white thing where it's like, bro, he's not talking about your skin color or who your dad is. He's talking about literally you being of and from the culture.
Right. And I think he played into it when he started the song off. Like the way he said the word, it was like,
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. That they even bringing up all the old videos when he was young, and he said the ER. He said the hard ER. He's that nigger, and it was like, oh Lord, bro, you
yeah,
making
they got him
yourself
in
look
blackface.
bad.
Yeah, he's not hurting himself. What do you got to say, True, for there?
What I gotta say after 52 years of living and watching our culture elevate and basically crash dummy all the way down to we can never rise as one out of all the cultures in the world. Our culture is one that can create a beautiful thing, such as the rap culture. That's our culture. That is our song. That is our rap. That is our story. And originally, rap was a way that us brothers could talk about where we lived, where we came from, and where we were trying to go. We talked about basically trying to get out of the ghetto. We talked about what we had to do to get out of the ghetto and what we saw in the ghetto. And that originated what you got with Tupac and Biggie and all the other great rappers. Now, one thing that I would like to bring to everybody's attention is we have to realize that because there's no more television, everybody's on their phone more than anything. And America can't, that's why they really want to ban TikTok because America is not programmed any longer. We're not programmed to watch whatever comes on that America that the people that run America want us to watch. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I say that also with our culture is it's kind of like people of power that are not from that doesn't have the same color that we do. It's like they sit back and they think of ways that can keep us down, ways that we cannot progress in this world. And one being, well, let's entertain the world now with, our rap used to talk about how we wanted to help each other or Tupac with Dear Mama and stuff like that. It made us look at life a whole lot differently. But now the rap game is, well, I don't like this brother and I got all this money and I'm going to show it and I'm going to brag about it. And if you don't like it, I want to take your life, and if you don't like me, vice versa. But in reality, bro, it's kind of like crabs in the barrel, never
But
wanting to see each other get out of the barrel, bro.
you also got to look at when rap started, rap was in our hands.
Most definitely.
So like you had the message, you had Electric Kingdom, you had these songs, these positive songs. But when they took rap out of our control, that's when you started getting the gangster songs, and even NWA. People say NWA. When NWA came out, NWA wasn't glorifying gangsterism. They was trying to tell you, like, look, this is what's going on in LA. Like that, it was kind of like a cry for help. Like this is what's going on in LA, because no
Right.
one knew what was going on in LA.
Right.
No one knew
I
what
think
was going on in
it was
LA
the
until
90s.
Colors came out. Like
Yup,
we,
yup,
we,
you said it.
we
It
go for
definitely
the
was
same
the
age.
90s.
Yeah, when we was like in the '80s before Colors, everybody wanted to act like they was Run DMC
They
and they
wasn't
was
even cussing. They wasn't even cussing in the 80s during rap. Slick Rick never cussed. Melly
right,
Mel, none of them never even cussed.
right. But when Colors came out, the starter jackets went away, and everybody wanted to be a Crip or a Blood. So it was kind of like we're facing psychological warfare.
There you go.
So
Most
they
definitely.
they spread this rap, this image of gangsterism around, and then when Dre the Chronic dropped, the Chronic is a great album. When the Chronic dropped, that was like the end of the conscious rap.
But I think some of the confusion really come from us not knowing who we are as a people. And so again, I think a lot of the reason why we can't come together, truth, is because we so focused on our skin color, and we realize that again, all skin folk not kin folk. And so again, we know there are men and there are niggas in a
There you
lot of
go.
these communities. In these communities, and we just gonna be straight up. And so it's like again, we fighting against ourselves. So I don't want to seem like a victim or like it's somebody oppressing me or making me do this. But again, it's not cool to be educated no more. It's not cool, and it's like okay, well, until someone steps up and makes it cool to read again, you can't even find the book. Most of these kids don't even own no books to even read nothing to where you don't have no, you're not going to church. Your mama only 30 years old, if that. She ain't taking you to church. Grandma 42. She ain't taking you to church. You
Mm-hmm.
have no kind of is no community anymore.
There's
You used
no
to be able to
structure.
go out.
There's no structure.
Right, even the community. You used to know your neighbors. You used to play outside. Everybody was straight. You let your kid outside nowadays. It's pedophiles in the neighborhood. It's you don't even necessarily know your neighbors in that sense no more.
You got young kids standing in front of liquor stores, grocery stores, begging for change with a Pooh Shiesty mask on. You
Yeah,
know,
they ain't
you
begging for no change with a proof shiesty. They gonna
Right,
take
the programming, and so it's like again, if we holding the culture accountable in the same way that you still got Bloods and Crips and all, it's like, well, where do we hold them accountable? Because like I said, these is fathers. A lot of these kids that's running around with the shiesty mask on, they missing their dad in a sense because he was doing similar stuff and he ain't even been around in your life to tell you to do better. Everybody I ever know that ever went to prison, they tell you do not want to go to prison. Yet you see all these kids emulating prison culture.
right. I mean, it's like the Water Boys in Atlanta. You know, like they got the mind to hustle, but someone got to set them down and teach them how to do business. Because you can't do business running up on people trying to threaten them, or you know, taking money from you know, I would never give no one my phone to use my cash app anyway. Well,
but also, if you look at our government, bro, if you really sit down and think about it, with America's youth and nobody wanting to learn, nobody wanting to have a trade, nobody wanting to be educated, nobody wanting to half-ass work now. I'm looking at 20-year-olds on TikTok begging for money. I'm
I mean,
looking at
listen,
kids that don't have a disability, but they got a sad story.
yeah,
Everybody's got a sad story. I've never met my daddy, but that didn't stop me from raising my daughter by myself.
right. I mean, if you look at it, you got people who are, you know, like, because they gonna ban TikTok. People be like, I'm making $800,000 a month. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know how much money you can make off TikTok. But this is the new hustle. That's why they're letting in all the immigrants, because the immigrants are going to do the real jobs, and Americans are going to be on fucking TikTok.
Yep, you hit the nail on the head.
If they shut down TikTok, I mean,
It'll be something else.
it's
It'll be something else.
self-explanatory why they letting them in here.
Yeah.
I'm from Kansas City, and I haven't yet seen one Mexican on the corner with a sign begging for money.
Yeah.
I'm 52 years old, and I've never seen a Mexican with a sign begging for money off the highway.
Well, we know
I've
how
never seen it.
capitalism works.
I've
Capitalism
never
always
seen a
got to have a slave
Chinese.
class.
I've never seen. I've seen white and I've seen black, but I've never seen yet a Mexican asking for change.
Because we've been here. They just getting here, and a lot of them get set up in a sense to where they families already here. They send money back. The way they pool their resources and culturally is different. And so it's like, I'd say don't look at it like that, but just know that capitalism always need a worker class or a slave class of people, like what OG said. That's why they're letting them in here. And so in the same way, black people was a wave at a point, Chinese people was a wave, the Irish people was a wave, the Italians was a wave. They came here in waves. So now you're seeing Mexicans and Haitians. And so because you lack the resources when you first get here, you're going to be willing to do the jobs that the people that's been here is not willing to do anymore.
That's right.
Well, it's not that we don't want to do the jobs. It's we want to be paid.
We want to be paid. We want to be paid. Everybody
But you
wants to
can't
be
be
paid.
paid and don't have no education. You don't have no real skill set. What, you want me to pay you $20 an hour to work at McDonald's?
Well, I mean, look at like the jobs that they're doing. Like if you look what happened in one of the cities, the Mexicans and the Venezuelans got into a fight because at one point everyone was saying, why are the Mexicans voting for Trump? And they was like, why are the Latinos voting for Trump? Because they showing you why. Because I'm doing the job for $20. You let the Venezuelans in, they're gonna do the job for 13. They're cutting me. So I'm protecting my interests. And that's what as black people, I don't know why we feel like we gotta look out for everyone, but we don't look out for ourselves. We don't look out for ourselves. The civil rights movement, we didn't even benefit from it. It was like I like to say, it was like looking at Black Friday at Walmart. We was at the front waiting for the doors to open. Everyone else was behind us. As soon as the doors opened, everyone just ran in and ran over us. We didn't benefit from the civil rights movement. All of this, I don't know why we don't believe. We believe we got to protect everyone, and we don't look out for our own best interests. We accept everyone. If you got a business, you just find the black community and you open your business in the black community, and we're going to support you. No other race is going to allow us to open businesses in their community. They're not going to.
And that's why I think a lot of the young people it's hard for them to look at older people in that sense because again, where did this start? And for all these black people, especially older ones, to have all this information, so supposedly, why they ain't never opened no store in the community? You might only be 19. All I'm looking at is Arabs in my community the whole time I've been here. So what about all the black people that's been living here, that's been shopping here with this man the whole time? He done sent and got 4, 5 of his family members to come to America in the time because y'all done basically built up their family wealth.
Right, because we got more churches in a black. It's like someone said, and I hate using the analogy, but it is crabs in a barrel. It is a crabs in a barrel syndrome because look how many churches we got in a small block radius, and I guarantee you, all of them pastors know each other. Probably all started out with each other, or whoever founded the church. Because sometimes you got different pastors now, but when the churches was founded, they probably all knew each other. But ego said, I got to be the pastor. And then ego said, oh, well, I'm going to start my church around the corner from your church. Well, I'm going to start my church right across the street around the corner from your church. So now you got all these churches, you got all these black folks praising the same God in disunity. When we could have one church using the money for pooling our resources and building our community.
See, that sounds too much like right though.
Yeah.
And so
Uh,
again, like I say, it ain't white people or whatever. It's like even in our own communities, bro, it's division even amongst us. And until you could come together or have some kind of commonality, is I don't think it's meant to be together in that way.
until we come together, bro, we will not see a better day.
But I don't think all us alike to even come together, bro. I ain't never heard a movement of white people trying to come together. And even
I
amongst
I
white people,
I haven't seen a movement of black people coming together.
I have. I have.
I
The
haven't.
Million Man March. The Million Man
What's
March happened in our lifetime. The Million Man March happened in our lifetime.
and what
So,
became of it though?
but again, was it carried on? Because that was that one or two times they even did it. And it's like, okay, well, if you could do that, not to say every year, but if this is a continual thing, we're pushing for this as black men, even in our community, to where bro, whole life been about the culture being better and us stop trying to kill each other over silly stuff. Being a,
When you do say that Million Man March, if we do go back in time, Snoop was pushing that Million Man March. Am I right or wrong? Because he was going to trial about that time.
yeah, it was definitely people
Oh,
pushing it. I think
okay.
Farrakhan
And
still has
you
form.
ain't heard Snoop talk about doing another Million Man March ever since he beat his case.
Well,
Right,
but here's the problem with the Million Man March. We went to the Million Man March with the wrong attitude. We thought when we go to the Million Man March, he gonna tell us to take over. We gonna get guns. We gonna do this. But he said, go back to. He said you gotta atone. Go back to your communities and start cleaning your communities up.
right,
So when
right.
everyone left the Million Man March, oh, what the hell he talking about? Atone for what? I ain't do nothing. So because we didn't get the right, you got the right message, but we didn't receive it because if it's the same thing with the civil rights movement. If we would have, we chose the wrong path when we went with the civil rights movement. We should have stayed on the path to do for ourselves. We don't understand freedom ain't free. Freedom has requirements. So if you're gonna be free, you have to clean up your neighborhood. You're the one throwing the paper on the ground. You're the one pissing on the ground. You're the one dirtying up the neighborhood, standing on the corner with your pants hanging down, making it unsafe for the kids to walk down the streets. You
But I
can't
don't
keep
want to.
blaming the
I don't
white
want to
man.
act like it's one thing though that did that though, because you got a lot of systematic things that took black men out of households and the communities. Also disenfranchised us with opportunities to where my grandparents could only be certain things. My mom was even born during segregation. And so it's like you could only be certain things. You had never even seen black people do other things. So it was hard to dream. And that's why the I Have a Dream speech was so prolific, even in that sense, because at that time you had never seen black people given those opportunities in America.
But we could have created our own opportunities.
Well, well, well,
We
again,
had our
remember
own
that time
schools,
was different. Now,
but
now I think we definitely can
listen,
create our own
but
opportunities.
when we integrated into their schools, that's when we started falling off because anybody who was back during that time, they're a little bit more educated than like the next generation. They because they was educated by their own people. When we
Yeah.
went into their schools, this is when you had a lot of black men dropping out of school. A lot of black because they was never or they was never intended to educate us. So so that's why we need our own schools. Because if you look at the education system now, it's a bunch of women and a bunch of alternative men. Where are the black men at?
Locked up still in the mindset that we talking about that's keeping us trapped in that sense, because again you don't even feel like you're worth anything. They always tell you not worth nothing. And so the only way I feel like I can be worth something is I see the drugs in my community. I see what he riding in. I see my uncle, he a mechanic. He do, to where it's like, again, this is like I said, it's not just one thing. It's like, okay, you take all of this and put it together, and now you seeing another generation of that's affected because they didn't have dads in their home either, because of the same 80s and 90s stuff that we talking about.
But okay, look at this though. Black people, we used to say it takes a village to raise a child. So Why the only time the village works, like you take LeBron James. LeBron James said he was dirt poor. But LeBron James, people, grown men took interest in LeBron James and they took him into his house. They made sure that he somehow got from Akron to Oakland, California to play basketball. And a lot of these young men out here that can play sports, these coaches take them into their houses. They treat them like they're their own son. But if you can't play sports, if you can't rap, if you can't be an actor, where are the men in the community to help the single mothers without trying to have relations with them to say, hey,
You
come on,
saying it though.
come with me. Get on the bus. We about to go camping. See, so we kind of make excuses for stuff that we can do. Like, where are black men to
We
say,
could do that now. But what I'm saying is
that's
look
what
at
I'm
the
saying. We
60s.
can do it
Look at
now.
the 60s. They strategically killed all of these civil rights leaders. Not just Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. You had Medgar Evers, Stokely Carmichael, Huey Newton, Fred Hampton. All these people got killed in the 60s.
But ain't nothing we can do about that. We got to
But what I'm
start
saying,
thinking.
you was asking where the movement went or why it tapered away. And it's like, look at, these are all strong black men. While we had strong black women too, like Angela Davis, you had a group of strong black men that weren't necessarily controlled by money or any, to where they're actually making change in the community. And I think until you get that, and I think we still, as people, are scared. Because like I said, look at how the young people look at the older people. Y'all was around for this shit and y'all let it happen. So it's like, how can I hypocritically look at y'all now and be like, well, damn, these little niggas ain't talking about shit, and we sound like the generation before us.
The
They
fight,
were looking at us the same way.
the fight left, bro. The desire, the want, the standing up for your civil rights, it died away, bro.
It ain't that it died away. The fight has
It
left
wasn't.
because
It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough of us pushing the envelope.
no, it's the fight has left because we're in a time of not talking no more. You're in a time that you're gonna have to go out there and do. But we're so divided. We're so divided and we're so jealous of each other. Look at the preachers. We're so divided and jealous of each other that if a group comes out and starts doing good, instead of other groups trying to join that group, the other groups will put that group down. And something wrong, like the brothers and sisters in the streets are not the problem. They're just misguided. When guidance comes, they're gonna easily fall in. The problem with us is the ones who know. Look at Tariq Nasheed and the ADOS. They should have fallen out because what? Look at Dr. Umar. All of these people who are supposed to know, but they don't. But their egos are too big. You can't even get into the same room. Like, we need to go in the same room with each other. And we go in this room. We don't talk about our religion. We don't talk about our location. We don't talk about our sex. We don't talk about our sexual orientation. Only thing we talk about is being black first and what we need to do for our community. But I guarantee you, if you get a bunch of black people in a room, we're not going to talk about black people. We're going to talk about Jesus. We're going to talk about Muhammad. We're going to talk about this and that. And that's the problem. Like,
And I think that's okay, because if you talk long enough, that should tell you that you wouldn't even be here right now if your people wasn't strong people.
but how is that going to feed? You got to understand, people are trying to survive. So if we're not talking about how I can
But I
feed
think
my
if you know
family,
who you are, you walk different, you talk different, you start carrying yourself
no, no,
like
no.
that.
But I'll be more willing to listen to you. This is how coach get people. If I come to you with a sandwich and you're hungry and you take the sandwich, you're gonna want to know, how can I get another sandwich? You're hungry.
And I'm finna teach you how to fish. That
No, no,
teach you
no,
how to
that's
stop
not
saying take no
necessarily. That's in a perfect world. But I'm gonna use your hunger to get you to come join me.
No, but see, and I think that is part of the issue, but it go back to what you were saying with, like, even the Atlanta Water Boys. Instead of just the hustle, let me teach you how to do business so that you can then carry this into something beyond just where you currently at. I don't need to just give you a sandwich today. I don't want to just give you $5 right now today and you run off with the money. That's not gonna help you.
But that's a
So,
perfect world. That's a perfect world. And
but like you
unfortunately,
said, it
sometimes
starts
we
somewhere.
talk
So
about a
we trying to
perfect
do
world.
something. We
We're not
trying
in
to
a
do
perfect
something.
world. So, but
How
my
can I
point,
even get their attention? How can
but
I
my,
even get they
okay.
just
But let's
attention?
take
I
the
don't want to
waterboy
get you my fault.
situation. If I come to you and tell you I got a better way, but you never seen me use my better way, you're not going to listen to me. But if you actually see me out there hustling, making money, you're going to be attracted to the fact, you're going to be attracted to me. And in our community, we're not in the point of talking no more. Too much talking is going on. There's nothing else to say. There's no leader that's going to come and teach us anything different. There's nothing else to be said. Now what we must do as a people is take what Malcolm, Marcus, Elijah, and all of these leaders that came before us and put it into practice. Because a
But see,
lot of
them buzzwords you use, and even that socialism word. A lot of people try to say communism. I see people in the comments saying comment, but it's not communism. We talking about socialism. And
no, we're
so,
not
as a
talking about anything.
society,
It's not. It
what
doesn't have to have a name. So you will be more willing to listen to me if you see me come to your community, open a business, and my business is successful. You'll be more willing to listen to me if I provide jobs. That's why people listen to Nipsey. We're not in the age of talking no more. There's no more. Everyone says we don't got a leader. We need a leader. We don't need a leader. We just need people to get off their ass and go do. That's it. Get off
right,
your ass and go do.
right. Hey, speaking of that, I want to shout out FAMU. I'm not sure if y'all familiar with Florida A&M University in Tallahassee, Florida. So they literally just received $237 million, I think Thursday or Friday, from this black CEO. And he owns a company. I could try to drop the link in the comments, but y'all check it out. Young black dude too. And so this one of the biggest contributions that any individual person has made to HBCU in a very long time. And so I just wanted to shout out FAMU on
That's
that. So we
good.
talking about people
That's
that's
good.
changing stuff.
That's good. That's good. But when we got people like Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry
Holding
that
them
has
accountable.
the
Remember, we were talking about rappers not doing nothing for the community earlier, OG.
yeah,
So
I'm talking about other people other than just rapping, man. You know, nobody's. We not the people that does have the power, bro, to change. It's like they got enough money now. They got a big enough house now, and they got enough power now. And the hell with our culture, like Michael Jordan. Everybody loves him. Everybody wearing his clothes and shoes.
Mike
But
do
I
stuff
can't think
though.
of
Mike do stuff. Mike do stuff.
I can't think of one thing Michael Jordan has done for our culture.
No, no, he
And
definitely
that's
got the culture because we buy his shoes. But as far as the community, he has summer basketball camps. He give out shoes. He's donated millions of dollars to certain things. Like Mike do small stuff, but I get what you're saying as far as you can be more impactful.
Okay, but you also do know Mike has interest in the county jails and
that's a
that they
different Michael Jordan. That's a different Michael Jordan. That's not him.
Yeah, they
that ain't
disproved
him.
that already. No, it ain't the same Michael Jordan.
That's a white guy. But here's
But
the
you gotta
thing, though.
think about how these
Listen,
people money be tied up too, though. These people money.
listen. As black people, we got a $1 trillion spending power.
Yep.
So
Trying to tell you.
you can't be as black people. We don't need Oprah Winfrey. We don't need Michael Jordan. We don't need Tyler Perry.
We do though if they gonna shift the culture.
No, we don't need them. All you need to do as black people is we need to pool our resources and do something for ourselves. And once we start pooling our resources and doing something for ourselves, if we start like these other people, they come in and they pull their nickels and dimes together. They live in apartments, six to apartment, 2 bedroom apartment, six to a 2 bedroom apartment, saving their money to buy stuff. And if you really look at it, go look at who owns the hotels in your city. They're mostly owned by Indians and Arabs. These people are pooling their resources and buying stuff. Until black people, if we as black people cannot pool our resources and take control of our own communities, we have no reason to complain because
Now
we
you
can
ever,
do the same thing. We can
now
pull
you
our
ever
nickels and
wonder,
dimes and buy
now you ever
stores and
wonder,
buy businesses.
now you ever wonder how them Indians and Arabs was able to get money so fast if they just got over here, right? You ever wonder about that?
Man, they come with money. What are you talking about?
They pulling their
No.
They
resources.
come with money.
Our government gives them money. Think about how
No,
many
no, no.
students you know. Do you know the biggest immigrating class in America? The biggest group of people that immigrate to America, probably the last 3 years, is not Mexicans, it's not Haitians, it's Chinese. It's
Well,
the
they got money.
Chinese.
But then look at this. When I don't know if y'all heard of this, but in Oakland, California, there was a group of Muslims, not Farrakhan's Muslims, but there was a group of black Muslims who was going around and they was breaking up the liquor stores. And then they had a meeting between the black community and the Yemen community. But the Yemen's got a business association. It's called the Yemen Business Association. And if you ever notice, I don't know if it's the same in y'all's community as it is in Oakland, but they'll have a store on one corner, and you go down the street, on the next corner, they have another store.
Are you in Oakland?
Yeah, it's like that in Florida too,
Huh?
bro. These families are on, like you said, the motel, the liquor store. I'm talking about that shit so bad here where I'm at. They actually got like a mini liquor store at the motel.
Exactly.
And can sell liquor out the motel.
At the motel.
So it's our fault that we don't pool our resources and support each other. We need to pool our resources and build stores and support them, but we don't do it. My uncle owned a store, not my uncle, my cousin owned a store in Louisville, Kentucky. Black people wouldn't even come into the store.
That's crazy.
We got to get out of it. We got to support black businesses.
It's a personal hatred, bro. You could have, like you just said, you could have a black owned liquor store on one corner and right across the street, an Iranian can have the same liquor store. And for some reason, our culture will walk across the street and spend it with the Iranian. If they can't get no kind of deal in our liquor store, they'll go across the street and give that man what he want for his merchandise.
Yeah.
It's a hatred culture. It's sad, and until I see different, that's what I'm gonna always believe. Until I see different, it's a hatred. It is a stone cold hatred. I've never seen such hate within our own community in my life, man.
Look at what they tell you. Look at even other things that's going on social media. You got the whole drizzle, man versus woman, masculinity versus feminine. It's like, look at how stuff is breaking down as a whole. And so again, if as a black man, we've been told that we're worth nothing, to the point where even black women are believing this now, to where it wasn't like that before.
But that goes back to what you said, like earlier. There's a lot of plants in our community that we don't realize it. Like, to me, I think Kevin Samuels was a plant, because since Kevin Samuels came out, black relationships have been. We've been arguing ever since Kevin Samuels came out. We've been arguing.
It was before him, though. I ain't gonna blame him for that, because
I really like him because he told a woman how he felt. He told a woman some real shit.
Yeah, we talking about generational stuff at this point, because even if we go back to the 60s and 70s, bro, it was black men having outside kids. It was like stuff going on even then. So we not gonna say Kevin Samuel started the black man and woman.
No, I'm not saying he started it, but these relationship gurus, they're like, some of them are plants, especially the ones that get so big. They're plants to keep division between black men and black women.
Oh, I think anytime you see money, and it be a lot of money, like think about even when we was growing up, bro, nobody never said they wanted to be a truck driver growing up. Yet this is what you're seeing people pushing out, and it's like, why? Because it's money in that shit, and that's where people gonna go to. Because
if you see a guru on, most of these gurus are fake. They're out here doing scams. Because why am I gonna be on here? I mean, a lot of these, that's what people don't understand. They like, I'm trying to sell you the game. I'm trying to sell you the game. That's how I make my money. How I make my money. Like the laws, the 48 laws of power. That man never even used the 48 laws of power. He was broke. He was broke until he wrote the first 48 laws of power. He never used them. Never used them. He got all his money after he wrote this book, and everyone swears by this book. But ask him how he got rich. He'll tell you, I just wrote that book. He never used those rules.
That's a story of a lot of people. Shit. Tyler
Exactly.
Perry was
That's my point.
homeless. J.K. Rowling was homeless. That bitch worth like billions of dollars now because she wrote Harry Potter supposedly.
That's my point. A lot of these, when you go to these real estate classes, and they want to, these people are selling you the game. They're making their money off of selling you the game.
But the game is really free.
Exactly. If you really want the game is free.
The game is really free. If you put your nose to the grind and you dedicate yourself to whatever profession you want to jump in, it's up to you to be the master of that.
But culturally, though, you got to think about the disadvantages we have. I didn't grow up with nobody that was doing real estate. I didn't grow up in no rich community or no rich family to have
You don't have
access
to.
to.
You don't have to.
No. I'm not saying you have to, but what I'm saying is as a whole, not just me personally, but think about like in general, as a black or African American person, you don't necessarily have access to where your mom didn't leave you no house to live in, or even you getting a car. You probably had to get your own car. Like
Right.
you had to do everything from the ground. And it's like everybody didn't start like Trump told you his dad gave him $2 million to even start a business right after high. You know the way it's like, bro, who giving somebody $2 million, bro? If you had somebody give you $2 million, you wouldn't be poor no more neither.
But listen to me. But listen, when the game is being told for free, you got people on TikTok trying to give you the game for free. Credit game, real estate game, insurance game. These people at most will get 100 people. You go to people's TikTok, they got people in prison. I don't even know how the hell they on TikTok on prison. TikTok should ban them. But
They
anyway,
got them phones in that bit, man. You know they gotta stay in
TikTok is
touch.
supposed to go, but TikTok is supposed to kick them off lives. You ain't supposed to have no felons on TikTok.
Oh yeah, they normally don't. They normally don't last long, bro.
Now I seen one last hour. They had over 2,000 people watching it.
I
So
believe it, and that bit probably gone by next week. It'll probably be gone.
So you got to understand the game is it's all about what you want. If you really want to get out of poverty, you can get out of poverty. You don't need nobody to teach you. You got a computer in your hand.
It's the willpower.
You got a computer in your hand. If you want to learn real estate, get off TikTok and look up real estate, and then go out there and figure out anything you want to do is in your hand. But making excuses like, oh, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. And most of us don't even know the game. Most of us don't even have insurance. We talk about generational wealth, but most of us don't even have life insurance.
That was learned though, and like I said again, the young cat is finding ways to do this in a scamming type way. They're not even selling like the dope game over. And so it's like, okay, well, now what are people moving into and all of these things? And it's like, well, if you don't have anybody, it's not even too many real OGs even left that you can even listen to. Even the 40, 50-year-olds, it's like, well, what do he do? And he ain't really never made nothing of himself. So it's like, okay, these young cats not looking at what you saying. Like you said, it's the time for action. And so it's like, okay, well, I could look in my community and these people been living here and this shit just getting worse and worse.
But it's I might not have did it, but I might have more experience and felt. Like it's like if I come up down the alley and I just got robbed, and you see me come down the alley holding my head, and I say, "Hey, don't go down there. There's people robbing people." Are you gonna listen to me? Are you gonna say, "Hey, now I'm gonna still walk down the alley"? The problem with these young people is they can make $200,000. Even in college, you can make $200,000. But the problem is, you make $200,000, you got to pay taxes off $200,000.
Not only that, what are you gonna do with it?
Right. You go out and you buy a car. You like Angel Reese. She bought a Mercedes truck, nice Mercedes truck. But as soon as you drove it off the lot, it ain't worth the $100,000 you spent on it.
It depreciates.
Right. So it's all about these. They don't. It's like some of them you can tell like the ones who are very smart because they like I buy my clothes out of Walmart. I buy my clothes off the rack. So it's kind of like they have to want to listen, but the game is free. You got a computer. They on here making TikTok dances.
They don't even know who to study though. They don't even know who to study or where to get information from. I remember having to go get an encyclopedia to even know some of this shit.
I mean, it's out there though.
It's out there, bro. It's out there, and
Gurus out here. Black guru. You got gurus. I mean, this is also the other thing. Don't think everything got to come from a black man or a black woman. You can get advice from Asians, white people, Indians. If someone's telling you good advice, take their advice. It don't matter what color they are. Right? But you know, the game is out there. You can all you gotta do is put in a financial advisor. Dave Ramsey will come up. You gotta just be out there, and you gotta want. If you seek knowledge, you will find knowledge. That's what people gotta understand. If you seek knowledge, you will find knowledge.
Yeah, I like Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas be saying some real stuff.
Yeah, but we can't keep making excuses because I ain't have no daddy. I ain't have this. So
Oh, definitely.
cash out because you didn't have a daddy. You gonna go. You know. I mean, it ain't like that you ain't seen examples. You seen your friend crash out. Now he's doing.
No, they seen examples, and that's the problem. The examples that they saw was not the most upstanding individuals because this is what's glorified. And every time I cut on YouTube, I'm listening to certain things as opposed to listening to other things because it's not deemed cool. I don't have anybody in my house that's going to reinforce this.
But that's the thing is they gotta seek self-validation. You got that gang bang, but this is also the other thing. I want to say this for a second. We have made gang banging cool. I remember when Snoop Dogg went and danced at the Super Bowl, did the Crip walk at the Super Bowl, and I made a video about it. All I got was negative hate, telling me to shut up, sit down. It ain't that important. You need to be quiet. You know, he didn't mean it like that. We made gang banging cool. Gang banging is cool now.
Hollywood helped do that too, though. So agenda wide, like I say, it normally don't just be one thing. Like you said, Colors was the introduction to the world to where that might have been something going on specifically in that place, which we know it was.
Colors was the encyclopedia, was the Google.
But we know there were other gangs that had formed around that time all over the country. But again, you had never really seen it until Colors, like Grease had the little gang shit, but it's like that was Grease. That was a little play on it.
Colors was the cancer that spread from each city.
But wait a minute though. But we're past Colors. We're in 2024. Every time you turn on this TikTok, there's someone's Crip walking.
B2K was Crip walking. Ain't nobody have a problem with that.
Exactly, because we made gang banging cool. Every time you watch basketball,
it look cool though, bro.
He said it looked cool though.
But see, because when we allow the biggest movement in black people's history to have a black man at the Super Bowl gangbang, and no one said nothing. He didn't catch no fire.
His outfit was like a blue bandana outfit.
Exactly. Who said something? Who said something to him? No one said nothing to him.
That's Snoop though, but Snoop, as I think Snoop's character has been accepted.
Video. That's a recruit. All he did, that was a recruitment video for the Crips. Let me ask you this.
But that's all he been doing though.
Did I go to the Super Bowl in a Hitler uniform?
See, and that's the perspective. To where again, as long as it's black people killing black people, you know it's not gonna be looked at in that same way. Like we'll march every time the police kill somebody, but again, how many people got killed in your neighborhood this weekend alone? It's Cinco de Mayo. It's motherfuckers getting shot right now.
Exactly. That's my point. Someone should have said something to Snoop. Snoop should have caught backlash from someone to say, "Hey, man, you can't do that." But no one said nothing. Everyone, that was the greatest Super Bowl I ever seen. We do it to ourselves because we don't protect our own image. Look at women. Women, me and you say something to women, it's a problem. But they dancing to music, calling them all types of B's and H's, telling them to bust it open, and they don't have a problem with it.
That's our retarded culture.
Exactly.
Retarded. Shit. The mamas is letting the teenagers wear wigs and makeup and leave out the house and come home when they want to, and then when they end up pregnant, it really ain't a problem.
Exactly.
It's accepted.
I mean, you got TikToks, and it's a wonderful thing, but you also got to look at the negativity of it. I've seen a
Yeah,
TikTok 6 generations.
yeah. It's
Six
a
generations? How the hell y'all got 6 generations still alive? Teen pregnancy.
it's a gift and a curse with everything damn near. The
Right.
cell phones is a gift and a curse.
Social media.
Social media is a gift and a curse. I'm talking to a man all the way from Oakland and wherever you from, bro. You
I'm in
know,
Florida,
and
bro. I'm way
I
in
can
Florida.
see you and be thousands of miles away from you. It's a gift and a curse.
Right. And the
Yeah, that
curse is
Cell
spread
being
phones,
information.
used in
cell phones done
ignorance.
caused so many divorces and text messages and screenshots and it's a gift and a curse. A lot of people done met their wives on TikTok.
Yeah, but it's all about how you use it. And it seems like as black people, we normally use everything for negativity.
Yeah, yeah. And the Jews back us with money to do commercials and videos and sign us and all of that and jump on stage like a clown and perform
Right.
and sell out the whole show.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just clowns dancing in a circle in a circus.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it
that's
comes.
natural. That's been like that, and that go back to what we was talking about earlier. And I meant to bring it up when we was talking about it with the slave holders all being on the money, and we know money is made out of cotton. So yet here you still have who could be the best cotton picker kind of vibes in a sense to where if everyone's chasing this dollar that's really not really worth anything, and you no longer have any kind of morality when it comes to anything, then how do you hold people accountable in that way?
Exactly. You're right. We don't have morality. And that was a good analogy about the cotton pickers. That was real. We don't have morals. We're too loyal to money. We out here do anything for money. And we don't even most of the time, like when I worked in juvenile hall, these kids will go out and steal $1,000 iPhone, get caught, and then spend 90 days in juvenile hall. So I would ask them, why don't you add up how much you really made off of that iPhone? Because when you stole it, you didn't sell it for $1,000. You probably sold it for $500. You in here for 30 days. You in here for 90 days. So basically, you made less than a penny a day.
Right.
You could have went out and maybe a little bit more, maybe some. You made some change. You could have went out and earned that. You spent 90 days in here.
The punishment didn't equal out with the crime.
Right.
'Cause anytime your freedom is taken away, I don't give a damn if it's a day. That's a day of my life I just lost.
It has to be significant. Like I could understand $2 million. You want all right, but I'm not about to take no penitentiary chance for $1,000.
Hell no. And you got them running in these stores and grabbing all they can and walk smooth out. And that's
Right.
supposed to be cool.
But what they doing with it? How much you really selling the stuff for?
Not worth the time that I'm going to do for it.
Exactly. It ain't worth it.
Not worth the time at all.
You could earn that money, but that's we in the they got us into that. We would rather have the slow the fast nickel than wait on the slow dime.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the new generation. Nobody wants to take a trade and take the time to learn the trade. Take the time to have a skill that nobody can take from you. And that skill will make you money until the day you're not living anymore.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, nobody wants to take the time. They want to just grab it and take it and run. From the people that took the time to get it.
That's why we got to change our mentality because we got to understand like we there's a difference between a hustler and a businessman. A hustler don't, a hustler goes out and makes $100, go spend $100 because he thinks I can go back on the street tomorrow and make another $100. So I'm gonna make $100 today. I'm gonna go buy me a pair of Jordans and I'm gonna go back and hustle again tomorrow. Whereas the businessman makes $100, takes 20 for whatever he needs to does, invest 80, come back out. He lets his money work for him. We gotta get out of that hustling mentality because it's not getting us nowhere. You can't keep taking the same. You might go out in the corner one day and not make $100. All right, the bag. I'm about to go. Nice talking to you. I
Hey,
apologize.
yeah, man. Hey, man. Appreciate you having me on, man. I ended up staying in here down there the whole time, bro. So, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Good,
I
good.
appreciate it. I'll follow you, man. Keep in touch.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm gonna be checking for you, man. Yeah, it was good talking, man. I think people need to have more conversations like this for sure.
All right, for sure. Nice meeting you,
All
bro.
right,
Take care.
all right. Likewise, King.